Alright folks, and welcome to the channel. And in today's video we're going to look at one of the newer drum libraries from the guys at Ugritone. This is Punk and Grind. So yeah, this is one of the newer drum libraries from the guys over at Ugritone as part of their Ugritone's Drums package. And as you see, this one's called Punk and Grind. You see, we've got another totally different background, and it tells you there exactly what it is. So once you get everything installed in there, as you see, we've got this fancy looking kit, and we're in a what looks like to be in a rehearsal setting. I'll quickly go over this bit for you before we have a listen to the different kits. So for those of you that have not watched any of the other Ugritone's drums / cult drums videos I've done, cult drums 2 even, sorry. Once everything's loaded up, to have a listen to the actual individual drums. If you've got a MIDI pad, you can do it on a MIDI pad, obviously, or the right click on the mouse. And if you want to bring up the sort of faders and everything on the individual pieces of kit, it's just a left click. But if you want to bring everything up, you just press that button there. There's all your faders. So that's your mix window. And if you notice, slightly different here, we've not got individual faders for the cymbals. It looks like everything is just going through the overheads and the rooms. That's your effects are. This is where you can just sort of add a little bit of EQ before you actually do any processing. Say if you would just take some of that boxiness out of the shells, you just reduce some of those mids a little bit, and maybe boost a bit of low end and a bit of top end. Same with the cymbals. And this is where you can also send to the effect send and compressor, and you can add your own extra samples in here as well. Whether that's ones from Ugritone or other WAV files, that's entirely up to you. And then you've got your root in there as well. And then MIDI is just your MIDI mapping, which you can change in there. So if you import some MIDI grooves from another company, the MIDI notes aren't quite exactly the same, because they do alter slightly from company to company. You can just change them in there. And this is to invert the perspective. So normally it's from the drummer's perspective, and then if you invert it, it's from the audience perspective. For this track, I've done it from the audience perspective. So this is your master mix window, where you can set all your reverbs and saturation up if you want to use that within the program itself. Delays, that's the channel it goes out of. Now I will say this here, I said the same in Arena Drums. When you're switching between the different presets kits, for some reason it automatically defaults to channel 1. So if you want to put it on a separate channel, then you have to do that manually. And then you can have a couple of different variations on the chain order. And down at the bottom you've got a humanize and master. And then that's just all your libraries. So I'm going to have a look through all these. Output routing, I've got it on the Megamix. And there's your settings. The first one we're going to have a look at, which is already loaded up. This is Punky Default. And just before we play the sample, as you see, I've got no processing going off on the individual channels there. I've just got some basic panning, nothing going off on the bus, and nothing going off on the main fader. So what you're hearing is just the raw samples themselves. So like I say, this one the Punky Default. And this one's Angry Punk. This one's early UK grind. This was Grindy Default. This one's Cult Basement. And this one's Nasty Grind. And this one's Rehearsal Tapes. And this last one is Toggle Kang Punk. So there you go. You've heard all the kits in the raw forms. A couple of similar sounding kits, a couple totally different altogether. But let's see what they all sound like in a mix. So there you go, folks. That was Punk and Grind from Ugritone, part of their Ugritone's Drums Library. What do I think about this thing? Does it get the Wizard Seal of Approval, or does it get the Finger of Doom? Yeah, gets the Wizard Seal of Approval. As you know, I'm a big fan of the Ugritone stuff. Now, are all the kits in the library to my personal taste? No. Some of the snares I'm finding are a bit top endy for my liking. Yeah, you can adjust the tunings of the drums inside the VST there. Yeah, that's the only really thing I'd say. But that's just a really personal thing. Other people out there may like those really bright, really harsh sounding snares. It all depends on your personal preference, but apart from that, yeah, am I going to be using these? Oh, hell yeah, Am I going to incorporate some other snare samples to blend in just for personal taste? Yeah, but that's just a personal preference. Other people, yeah, may not, or whatever. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you want to grab yourself some Evil Wizard merch, there's a link to the merch store down in the description. But that's all from me.
I will catch you on the next one.
Right folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. You can follow me on social media and you can get my music online, and if you want to support the channel, there's Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal links. They're all down in the description. Click up here to subscribe and click the link down there for videos that you may not have seen. Keep it loud and keep it heavy.